Okay, so I've opened the React query website or whatever, version 5 to just quickly get the basic understanding of how to create these React queries. So in this case, we need the query key, which will be the unique key that will be used to identify the data that's going to be cached. So if, for example, if you take a look at this particular request. So whatever request that we make to this particular endpoint, React Query will cache it based on the key that you actually provide over for the query key over here. The next one is the query function. So this will be the function that is going to be called to make the request to get the data, or if the data is local storage or anything like that, is going to make the request to get that data for us. So that's where we are going to provide this query function in. So we're going to use this use query thing in order to um, in conjunction with the various structure or the response route and everything that we have to generate as our code that we need. So before then, I want to quickly just do this. So let's create a simple template. So we have our query right here. So we now want to bring in these, the request name, the route, and the response into this small template that we have over here. First things first is let's bring in the request name. So here we have the use query. And so we want to, here we have the use get request. So we want to replace this from use get request to use post or something like that. So we bring in the request name. So use post. That'll be a first instance already. And then we have the use query. The next thing is to bring in this query key. So we want to make it unique. We can use the request name, or we can use the route itself. In this case, routes are pretty much unique. So I'm just going to use the route. The next thing that we want to do is to pass this particular route to the fetch request right here. So we're going to just replace this with our route. So we make our fetch request, and then we have our JSON response also. What we want to also do next is to get the type response that we have here. We need to add that to the fetch request. So let's see. So we have our React query templates. So let's get that. Let's return this. The generated schema. Okay. So we're having some undefined over here, which we need to take a look at. So let's get rid of that. Okay. So if there's nothing in the line, it works. Okay. So a conversion of, all right. So we need to fix this. So this needs to be a promise. So we have our use post query function, something like that. And we have React query. So we need to also import this query. And we have our TanStack. So with this, we actually have to import TanStack React query, install TanStack query. So let's do pnpm. So we have our post generate pretty simple schemas like this one for us. That's pretty nice. So with that, we can use the. I was reading this Kenzie Dot article. Pretty nice article. So with that, you can, as you are doing your React stuff, import from React and blah blah blah. You can just use generate the schemas. Pretty simple, and you can just use them wherever you want in your application.